Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Office Hours with Dr. K. Today, we are going to talk about how to start a morning routine when you really are not a morning person. I'm not a morning person, and one of my big COVID upgrades this year has been to create a really kick butt morning routine. I have a morning routine that I do every single day, even on weekends. And when I don't do it, I feel ugh. I really miss it. So, and yeah, I'm a night owl. Totally a night owl. So, friends, if you're a night owl and you really want a morning routine and you think you just can't do it, I'm here to tell you, you can. You totally can. Fast forward to the end. The thing you have to do is manage your bedtime. We know this. Oh, I can't wake up in the morning because I don't get enough sleep the night before because I stay up too late. Yeah, it's connected. I have something for you. Go to my website, theessentialmusician.ca. If you scroll down any old page, you'll get a pop-up. There's a free PDF there. How to tackle bedtime procrastination. It's a little guide that you can walk through, and it helps you deal with that. If you don't deal with that, you will always struggle with your bedtime routine. There's the spoiler. You might as well just go now. Let's get into the details. So this week's blog post is called Hate Mornings, How to Start Creating a Morning Routine. Find it at theessentialmusician.ca. So I talk about, at the beginning, I talk about how I'm not a morning person, and maybe if you're watching this, you're not a morning person either. And I used to wear this as a badge of honor, being a night owl. I get a lot done at night. And, but the thing that really needed to change really came into focus during the first round of lockdowns. Remember that? It feels like 15 years ago, right? Back in 2020, many of us, I think a lot of us felt at first like, okay, we need to prioritize self-care. We're going to get the sleep we need, especially in those 2 weeks when everything just kind of stopped. We'd sleep in and we'd take naps and we looked after ourselves and connected with our immediate community and, did the self-care things. And then left to my own devices, I would stay up until 1 or 2 in the morning and then sleep 7 or 8 hours after that. But the rest of the world doesn't work on that schedule. And with my kids around all the time, seeing me sleep later, I almost said sleep late, but that word is a charged word. I've got a blog post coming out in a couple of weeks that talks about exactly that, this sort of culture of guilt around being a night person. That drives me crazy. Anyway, so I was getting up later than my kids, and my kids are now 13 and 11, and I felt like I just needed to set a different example for them. And also, it wasn't a holiday. We still had to get things done. So it started to bother me, and I knew I needed to do something. And I used to put off wanting to start a morning routine because I thought, especially in the summer, well, if I start a morning routine in the summer, when fall hits and everybody goes back to school and all of the things, then I'm not going to be able to sustain it. So why bother? Which is stupid because, we have all this time. We have weeks in the summer. If you work on an academic schedule like I do, you have weeks in the summer where you can make these kinds of changes. And it's long enough to make really well ingrained changes that you can then carry forward with you into September and change them. So I decided just to try it. And holy heck, I love my morning routine. And yes, I'm a morning person. And yes, I still have a hard time getting up in the morning. And no, I don't get up without an alarm. I need an alarm. And no, I don't get up at the crack of dawn. And I still have a morning routine. It's pretty great. Actually, I'm going to be dropping a reel tomorrow that shows you exactly what's in my morning routine. So the work still needs to get done. The thing you need to do is find the right wake-up time for you. So in my case, I knew I was going to become department chair again, and if you've been following me, you know how much I really don't like being department chair, but I knew even though I was working at home that the last time I was department chair, I didn't have boundaries on my time. So I decided, okay, I'm going to have a reasonable 40-hour work week. Imagine 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. In academia, we work more than that. We work all the time. I thought, I'm not working all the time. I don't want to. So I'm not gonna. So I work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So my non-negotiable wake-up time has to be at a time when I can get the things done before my non-negotiable be at work time. This is my office. It's currently, we're opening back up slowly, but for the past year and a bit, this has been my office. So I've been able to do the 5-second commute down the stairs. But it's given me the opportunity to work on my morning routine and get it earlier and earlier and earlier so that I can get more of the things in that I really want to get done before work. I get my me time in before work. Some of it, not all of it. So the thing with, find the right wake up time. Yeah, so I'll come back to that. Okay, the night owl conundrum. The need for me time. This is the problem. It's not a problem. Night owls, we love the deep dark hours at night. My favorite time to get work done is between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. So if I'm working on whatever schedule I want, and if I don't have to worry about society or anything like that, I would work from 11 to 1. And then it takes about an hour, to wind down and get to bed, go to bed at 2. And if I sleep 7 hours, it's 9 o'clock. I get up at 9. Okay? That would be my ideal. 9 or 10. My ideal. And when I do it that way, I don't need my alarm. But if I get the same 7 or 8 hours of sleep shifted, I totally need my alarm. It's really funny. If we're going to have a morning routine that is based on an earlier time than we naturally want to wake up, and why would we want to do that? For the reasons that I mentioned, because the rest of the world doesn't work on night owl time. So you need to figure out how to get to bed at a reasonable hour. I'm not saying get to bed no, I don't mean that. I mean the right time for you. You need to go to bed at the right time for you so that you can get the sleep you need. Okay? Whether or not that hour is reasonable is up to no one but you. If reasonable for you means you get your 7 hours of sleep, and if that's from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m., you do you. It's nobody else's business but yours. It doesn't matter. Reasonable, leave reasonable out of it. You get enough sleep. So you figure out your non-negotiable wake-up time. You figure out your lights out time based on how much time you need. And that's the easy part. Then you got to actually do it. And this is where night owls really have a hard time. We deal a lot with revenge bedtime procrastination. I've written about that a couple of times. But that is basically when you really need to have your me time. You're so tired, you've done so many things during the day for so many other people. Maybe you've had a lot to do, maybe you didn't finish it. And you know that you work better at night like me. So for the longest time, I kept work until later at night because I get more done in less time when I do it in the evening. Also, I tend not to sleep well. So if I have stuff to do in the evening, then it tires me out a little bit. But I lost my train of thought. I'm looking at my blog over here. If you stay up late doing the things, that's fine. And if you need to get up at a certain time, that's fine. And we know that we can function on 4 to 6 hours of sleep, for a few days. And anybody with little kids knows that you can actually do quite a bit on very little sleep, but it is bad for you. We do not recommend it. So this is the big challenge, is how do we manage bedtime procrastination? And this is what my PDF download is. Go to my blog. So I decided to shift my focus. I realized that I was staying up late at night and struggling with bedtime procrastination because I felt like there were all these open loops. I had a hard time winding down and shutting down at the end of my 9 to 5 workday because I felt like there were still a lot of things that I had to keep my fingers on. So I shifted my focus and I started concentrating on getting more done during the day and shutting things down, making sure that I knew where everything was, managing my inbox. I've written blog posts about all these things, and the Full Focus Planner has been like a game changer for me. Is this how it's upside down? No, it's not. But this thing, and managing, I get to inbox 0 at the end of the workday. So when I shut down at 5 p.m., I don't have that hanging over. I don't do homework anymore. Like, I just don't do it. I think I've done homework twice in the past academic year. And for any of you who are teachers or in academia, that's probably a surprise. And I'm a chair, man. So I got to figure it out. So, but what I discovered was when I started getting stuff done during the day, being more productive during the day, I didn't procrastinate at bedtime so much. So, and I know the difference now when I'm delaying my bedtime because I want to versus delaying my bedtime because I'm still spinning. And if I can get more stuff done during the day, I don't spin as much at night. Now, there are going to be triggers, right? My trigger for bedtime procrastination is Candy Crush. I'm on level like 3,000. I'm almost at level 4,000 on Candy Crush. We have a complicated relationship. And so it was little things like I have a tablet, an iPad in my bedroom, and I use it as my alarm clock. I like the alarm clock because it's not an annoying wake up alarm. Night people, you know how we are with alarms, right? It's an alarm that wakes me up that isn't annoying and it doesn't wake up the whole house. And but also on my iPad, I have browsers, internet browsers, and I have Facebook, and I have Candy Crush. So I found that I was, after my whole bedtime routine, I was grabbing my iPad and sitting in bed and playing Candy Crush just because it was an automatic thing. Well, I realized, of course, that was my bedtime procrastination thing. So I had to replace it. But I really miss my Candy Crush because it helps me wind down. I know all the experts say you gotta get off the screens or whatever. My sleep isn't affected by that. I sleep well now, so I'm not worried about it. But I missed having that sort of brain process time, but I had to figure out a way to do it so that I wasn't, staying up. So one of the things I tried was just playing it standing up. It's kind of a funny thing, but if I make myself do it when I'm standing up, oh, here comes a dog. It's like, ooh, a ghost. Hello, Bubba. If I do it standing up, then I can't do it for a long time. Can we see? Yeah, there you are. You're such a good boy. I tried replacing it. You can't just stop doing something that's a habit. I tried replacing it with gratitude journaling, which was effective a little bit. If you're a night owl, I do not recommend reading at night. God, I love to read. There's no way I'm putting a book down. That's 3 a.m. I got to read the whole thing. So you have to figure out what your triggers are. Maybe your trigger is reading a book. Maybe your trigger is, I'll just watch one episode of Schitt's Creek, and all of a sudden season 5 is going, what a great show. You got to figure out what your triggers are and either figure out a way reasonably to mitigate them if you really, really just love your Candy Crush, or figure out something to replace it with. Maybe you want to use a meditation app, or maybe you want to do gratitude journaling or something, but you need something to replace that behavior that keeps you up. So, how to manage bedtime? No, that's next week's. How to start a morning routine. Figure out your non-negotiable wake-up time. Figure out how much sleep you need for the long-term maintenance, or you will not continue your morning routine. Figure out your non-negotiable lights out time to support that. Do what you need to do to stop the bedtime procrastination. I believe next week's blog post is about bedtime. It is. It's about the bedtime runway. And yeah, we're going to get a little more into this in a couple weeks. There's so much here that I want to unpack. If you have any questions, comments, post, send me a DM, whatever, head to the blog. Please read the blog. It's way better than my video. I'm experimenting with reels. I'm going to have a couple reels coming out. Tomorrow's reel is going to be what my morning routine looks like now. Me, the night owl, has a morning routine. It's freaking awesome. Yeah, and get that PDF download. If you didn't, for some reason, can't get it, just shoot me a message. I think I actually have it linked at the bottom of the blog post. And it is Tackle Bedtime Revenge Procrastination. Look after yourselves, my friends. Morning routines? Yeah, you can do it. Totally. Night owls? We can do this. I did. You can too.